Okay, so this is definitely a problem in that you are trying to actually interpret the data in your results section to match the PixVR framework, but that's not what a results section does. It just presents the data. Um, you can have some level of categorization of it. For example, you can say the cognitive experience, and this is where it might go up there, is flow and metacognition, which I don't think you mentioned up there, but you could do that. Um, and like back in the cognitive part, or maybe that's the combination of the two. Maybe that's a combination. One of the things when you bring the two together, you can talk about here's an example of flow, but you cannot start talking about the framework. Well, you can, you obviously are, but you shouldn't talk about the framework now. That's your discussion. You're basically saying, here's some evidence, the way I'm lining it up. And I think that's the way you've said your research question, which really should be how are they experiencing it? And then you can, in your discussion, make a case for the framework. So I hope that makes sense. I'm just going back to your research questions. Research questions one, and there might be a bit of a timing problem. What are Emerson's perceptions, cognitive understanding, and affective insights toward IVR as a learning environment? Okay, so that's before they actually prior to the course, right? Isn't it's probably preconceptions, I think. That's probably what you want to say here. Because I'm thinking there's a bit of a because well, I mean you can say that. You can say what are their perceptions. Uh, uh, I suppose you can say that you divided it, but um, and then what pedagogical experience concepts do immersions associate with IVR learning? I I don't think you need this. I would say delete this. You've given your framework. Your goal shouldn't be in research to prove your framework. You should present your framework and see if the proof is there. And so what pedagogical and experiential concepts do immersions associate with IVN learning? Okay. And then how do immersions describe the interplay between affective and cognitive dimensions of IB our learning and practice? And that interplay might be flow actually, but yeah, I think this needs to be out of there because you're starting to interpret results in the actual results section, and um, that's not the way to do it. Um, I and in a way we can't really talk about how it informs the results or what they experienced. I don't uh, hmm, I don't think it's an iterative process in which they're learning, but I think you talk about that. I know you talk about that. That well, I know you. I haven't looked at your discussion, but that's what you should be talking about in the actual um, discussion. I'm thinking about this because I know you've thought about it a lot. Yeah, I think that's the way you have to ask the question because it may not. I mean, you're basically saying with the way your question is worded, it's biased. You're basically saying I'm going to look for the pedagogical and experience constructs that support my framework. Um, And I don't think that's the way it should be because you basically proposed a framework. You've done a great job of saying that. Now we got to see if that works. And you'll see whether that framework works or not.